Okay, so earlier today, I was thinking about what I could do to make slimes better. Like, make this more efficient, make it, I guess, faster, make you more money, maybe a better farm design. And for some reason, I just thought that there's no way for this farm to, like, ever truly die. Because if they nerf the armor, which they have done in the past, they have nerfed unstable armor, they've nerfed the blaze armor right here, which honestly, this one would have been better if blaze armor was still a thing, because it damages blocks in a 5 block range for 300 base damage. That's a way more than their health, because as you can see, that slime right there has like 8 health. This one has like 3. The medium slimes have like 12 health. It's way overkill. It's way too overkill. But it doesn't work on your island anymore. Same thing for unstable frozen blaze, which is pretty much the same thing, I believe. Yes, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Unstable pretty much got nerfed too. Right here, sometimes strikes nearby mobs with lightning. There used to be a really good chicken farm with this, or just any farm in general. But now they've all been nerfed, and to be honest, this armor might be next. Because 30 seconds can get you the max amount of mobs you can have on your island based on minions. Because honestly, like I've said this before, this right here, you've reached the maximum number of slimes allowed on your island. It does not matter. It really does not matter because the second that appears, you're most likely gonna end up killing them eventually in like another second or two, and everything can just spawn again, or it just doesn't work at all because, as you can see, they're still spawning. So it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about that. But it really, it really is amazing how there's no way to really nerf this. Even if this right here, if they make it like the other armor sets where it cannot work on your island, then the drowning method still works. And to make the drowning method work, even though there's no more like infinite number of chests, you can just use droppers. A similar design like this actually. You can have a floor of hoppers right under your drowning system, I guess, and then just pump it out of droppers and just AFK in front of the droppers. It's really that easy. It's kind of like what I'm doing with my cactus farm right now. I'm not able to use chests, so I'm using droppers to make up for not being able to have as many chests as I want. So yeah, this farm can never die. And right now, even though this armor has not been nerfed yet, because obviously I can still use Witherborn on my island, well, it's still good. It's really good. Honestly, I really do think Slime is probably the best minion in the game, money-wise, because, well, one, they are not that expensive to make, and two, they are fast. Like, really fast. I don't have a max setup anymore for speed because, well, I kinda took out my hound, not hound, magma cube pet for the hound pet, and I also changed from foul flesh to hamster wheels, which I believe is much more worth it. So yeah, it really is fast. They can break up. Look at this. That one just broke up into 4 slimes. Is there another big one? Right, right. Come on, work with me here. Well, most of the time, right there. That one split into 3. So you get more drops. You get a bunch of, I don't even know. You get a bunch of slime. You get a bunch of sulfur. Sulfur has actually been making me a lot of money recently because I just had so much of it. There was one time where I usually check every once in a while how much sulfur I have. There was one time where my whole inventory was full of sulfur. And that wasn't even that long. For some reason, I had a really good AFK session, which I will not complain about. And Yeah, it was just amazing. And my efficiency, these three pillars. I know some people in the comments, when I talked about how these three pillars basically changed my farm and made it more efficient, some people said that their wither was still able to spawn every 30 seconds without it. All they did was float 2 blocks above. But I'm pretty sure my redstone has something to do with it because there's more things in the way. But now, as you can see, I have a bit more room. Just a little bit. But that little bit is able to spawn a wither. And that is making this farm a lot better. So, I will still count this as an upgrade. But, yeah, this farm, take advantage of it. For early game players, mid-game players who want to progress all the way to late game or just want some money, take advantage of this farm. You can make a lot of money from this. And how much money do I have in the bank right now? 93 mil in the bank. That's all from slimes. Let's keep that in mind. I don't actually play the game anymore, in quotes, because dungeons is pretty mid. I don't have a team, so that sucks. My stats are genuinely pretty low. And just repeating the same floor every like 2 to 3 minutes, doing the exact same things, like every 2 to 3 minutes, looking for the same thing, getting the same rank, just for an RNG drop. Honestly, I would much rather sit here and do nothing and get that amount of money for possibly a longer time. Because RNG, if you're doing like maybe 100, 200 runs a day, or spending even like 5 hours a day, just grinding dungeons, and you can possibly get nothing. And I don't want to do that, I guess, RNG. Same thing for farming. You have to be present. You have to physically hold left click. And even though it's not as bad because all you're doing is holding left click and W, and you can possibly just have something on the side, you still have to be here. Same thing for fishing, mining, you have to be there. But this right here, including my cactus farm, you don't have to do anything. And for all the players who are struggling to make money, those slimes are stuck, kinda. But if you're a player who's struggling with money, you're an early game player, mid game player, or even a late game player, because I started using slimes when I already had Necron armor, Daedalus axe, and all that stuff. Use slimes. And to be honest, this money isn't even gonna be for me. I'm just literally getting money for future giveaways, which honestly is insane because I'm supposed to be giving away at least 50 mil every 100 subs until 1,000, because if we reach 1,000 by the end of the year, I am gonna be hosting a 100 million coin giveaway, but I'm making a lot more than I'm giving away, which, to be honest, is pretty surprising, considering, well, judging from how progress has been, I've been giving at least 100 mil every month. And to a lot of people, especially early game players, mid game players, that's a lot of money. That 100 mil for a mid game player is basically their whole Necron set. They need how much money? Okay, why are there negative values here? They need 25 mil just for a base set, a base Necron chest piece. But for a 5-star, 27 mil. Can I change the leggings? Let me change the leggings. Right here, leggings. For 5-star, another 16 mil. Helmet, 15 mil. Yeah, basically 15 mil boots, 13 mil, and they need a weapon too. So that's basically their 100 mil, and they need to spend it on enchants, they need to spend recombobulating, they need to spend on talisman. That's a lot of money. Now imagine, you can do all that without having to put a single bit of effort. And you can still grind, because right here in this minion is 4.3 million coins. And I have 28 of them, all full with 4.3 million coins. Which, honestly, insane. It really is insane. 4.3 million coins, that's like 120 mil, I believe. Which I am gonna make a separate video about because I made this in a very short amount of time. So, yeah, 120 mil. Which is a lot from just in there. Just from hoppers alone. And if I go to the bazaar, I have 29 mil from my purse. And another 21 mil from here. 29, 21, that's basically 50 mil. And what did I do? I stood right here. Or I was even disconnected. I could even be disconnected and still make that money. So, take advantage of this minion before any of these nerfs happen. If you're in early game, mid game, late game, and you don't have, or late game you should have this armor and weapon, but early game and mid game, instead of using this kind of setup with a Necron helmet, Daedalus Axe, or Necron set and Daedalus Axe, or any Wither set, make a drowning setup. Just make a drowning setup, put hoppers underneath, and put some kind of, I guess, a redstone system to make a clock like this. It's very simple, it's not that hard. Just make a little clock like this to make it so that every time there's something inside, it will just pop out. Because, well, they're droppers, and they're constantly activating and deactivating. You'll be making all that money. Pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference is, they're going to be drowning. You'll be making a bit less, but free money is free money. All you gotta do is stand in front of the droppers like this, and you're good. So for now, I think I'm just gonna end it here. That was just what I was thinking about earlier. How this minion is literally like never gonna die. It's good for any stage of the game, and there's so much you can do with it, even if they nerf this. It does not matter if they nerf Witherborn, because the drowning setup with droppers is still gonna be really good. Because I still have my cactus farm. Which, well, I have made only 3 mil from it. I haven't been AFKing here as much. And there are times when I even forget to put my redstone. Because every time I leave the island, this thing has to reset. I have to break it and put another redstone down. I forget to do that sometimes. But yeah, just try out this minion. It's really good. And yeah, I'll just end it here, and we'll see you next time when I talk about my profits.